How fast do our characters in Baldur's Gate 3 run? And could it be anywhere near the speed of a cheetah? In this video, we'll find the optimal gear and class combinations to max out our movement speed and find out the answers to these questions. But firstly, let's find out how fast a normal human moves in Baldur's Gate 3. To find that, we just need to revisit middle school science class and remember that speed is equal to distance over time. By checking the character sheet, we can find the distance, and even though your friends normally take 5 minutes to finish their turns, the tutorial states that a turn is equal to just 6 seconds. From here, it's just basic math to find out the base movement speed of a human is roughly 5.4 kilometers per hour. This speed is actually very close to what Wikipedia says is the average walking speed of a human. When using the dash action, this value doubles, which is pretty close to an average human's run speeds, but nowhere near the speed of a cheetah. Thankfully, Baldur's Gate 3 has many ways to improve a character's movement speed beyond this base level. So let's get to work crafting our in-game Sonic and see just how fast we can really go. Firstly, we change our race to a wood elf, then make our character a barbarian for the level 3 Elkheart Rage bonus to grant additional movement speed when raging. Then I picked up the level 4 feat, Mobile. At level 5, barbarians get the fast movement perk, which grants them bonus movement when not using heavy armor. And the level 6 aspect of the crocodile passive, which grants additional movement speed when standing on water. We also multi-class 3 levels into Rogue for an extra bonus action and the cunning dash ability. And finally, I'll put 2 levels into Monk for the unarmored movement speed passive, which won't work right away because I do need some armor to start with. This only puts our character at level 11, but the last level has no way to provide us any more bonuses. I also needed to change up the party members' classes a bit. I made Gale a transmutation wizard so that he can provide the long strider buff, and once reaching level 6 unlocks the transmutation stone, which allows him to conjure a stone, increasing movement speed for whoever is holding the item. And just in case you're wondering, you cannot stack multiple of the same stone. Then I had Shadowheart place water all along the course using the cleric's create water spell, so that the barbarian's crocodile passive would actually function. And I also had Karlach go 6 levels into Barbarian for the Elk passive, which grants nearby allies an additional bit of movement speed. Now as far as consumables go, there's really only the Potion of Speed. One important note here is that the tooltip says that it doubles your movement, but this is actually not true. This item just adds a flat 9 meters of movement, so I'll be using it right before combat to maximize its effect. Now that we're done with our buffs and consumables, let's pick up some gear, which to be honest, there really isn't a lot of gear that improves movement in the game. In Act 1, you can acquire Crusher's Ring from the Goblin Camp for a straight up bonus just for equipping it. The Spring Step boots can also be found further into the camp. This item doesn't directly give you any movement, but it lets you start stacking the momentum buff when you're in combat for additional movement, so I'll add that one in a little bit later too. Also in Act 1, we can acquire the best movement item in the game, the Boots of Speed, by curing the gnome girl in the Myconid colony. This item gives the Click Heals ability to double your movement speed, so I'll be saving that for the very end. Then, by skipping ahead to Act 3, we can get the legendary polearm Nirulna from the circus. This item grants a passive bonus just for having it equipped, just like Crusher's Ring did. And lastly, we can get the Helmet of Grit from Cazador's Palace. This item also does not grant any movement, but it gives us an extra bonus action when our health is below 50%. So I'll use this item to smooth out the action economy when executing my movement speed combos later in combat. For now, this item actually blocks the monk's passive from working, but we can fix that later. Before entering combat, we can see the character's movement is already up to 42 meters per turn, which is about 25 kilometers per hour, roughly the same speed as professional athletes, which kinda makes sense for a high-level character. So now let's enter combat and see how far we can really push this. We'll start off combat by using the Barbarian's Elk Rage ability, then use Dash on this turn to start building the stacks of momentum. Momentum can reach a maximum of 5 stacks, and this item gives 3 per turn, which means I need to wait another turn so I can get to a maximum of 5. I cast Dash one more time to give us the full momentum stacks, and I do have to make another note here because Dash also says that it doubles your movement speed, but a bit like the Potion of Speed, this isn't true. The first time you use Dash on your turn, it does double your movement. But by using the Rogue's Cunning Dash action, we see that it actually goes up to 162 and not the 216 that we would have expected. The way Dash works is that it adds your movement speed with all bonuses except for Dash to your total. I also found through this testing that Dash can only stack up to a maximum of 3 times per turn, and anything beyond that grants no additional movement. So by casting Dash one more time, we reach that 216 number and can no longer use any type of Dash actions. With our last available action point, I swap our boots to the Boots of Speed, which grants us the ability Click Heals. This ability is the third one we've looked at that says that it doubles your movement speed. And finally, this one actually does what it says, bringing our total number up to 432. With all of the actions spent, I can remove the helmet to activate the Monk's Unarmored bonus and get the same multipliers applied to it, bringing our total up to 456 meters per turn. Now let's take a look at how fast that would look in real time. I sped this clip up to show what moving 456 meters in 6 seconds would really look like. Let's finish this off by converting the movement speed to a per hour rate. By doing this, we can find that the top speed of a Baldur's Gate 3 character is roughly 170 miles or 273 kilometers per hour. So to go back to the original question, can a character in Baldur's Gate 3 run faster than Cheetah? The answer is yes. by more than double their speed. And that's not the Larian definition of double, meaning +9. I mean actually double. If you learned anything new in this video, leave a like. If you think I missed something that could have boosted the movement speed even further, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Proxy out.